You're watching the Eclipse over Evansville on Eyewitness News.
And welcome back live to the Evansville riverfront. Today is the day. Totality is almost here. We have Wayne here with us now, Wayne, it's been a perfect day.
It really has been. And we're 9 minutes out here. The sun is getting dimmer and dimmer. And this is a good time to look for those crescent moon shadows coming through the trees and then reflected onto the ground. But you're really going to feel a lot of the changes slowly unfolding here in the next 10 minutes. And then once totality hits, that's when everything really changes quickly. That's when nature really starts to react. And that's when the street lights will come on. And they're actually going to turn the music off here. So we're actually going to be able to experience the crowd, experience everyone's reactions, and also hear nature. And this, this really is a communal event. I know some folks just want to stay home in their backyard, but this is really something, at least in my opinion, that it is more to it if you get to experience it with people, like a big concert. Like if you saw one of your favorite bands by yourself,
it wouldn't be nearly as much
fun. That would be great. But when you're with a crowd, I mean, that's going to be part of this experience, to be with these thousands of people down here and hear everybody's reaction to a celestial, once-in-a-lifetime event for most of us.
And it's really been a party. People are really enjoying themselves. And you pointed something out to me a moment ago.
Yeah,
it was great to see.
Had a Martian hat on earlier. We saw him riding around on a... I don't know what you call
scooter,
that.
One of those scooter kind of things. Yeah, pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, everybody right now has their glasses on, pointed up to the sky. It looks like waitings. We're so close.
We are
just
so
minutes
close.
away.
Yeah, how many minutes away?
We are. Let's see. It starts at 2:02, so we are now 8 minutes away from totality. Remember, it's only going to last 3 minutes.
And so hopefully you're where you need to be. You need to be somewhere right now so you can experience totality with your glasses. But in case you know someone on their way, they haven't arrived yet, we're going to head out to Ann Powell, who is monitoring traffic for us, because we're expecting traffic to be a big issue, especially afterward. But let's check in with her now. Ann?
Yeah, guys, that's right. We are just minutes away from the totality of the eclipse. It is starting to get a little bit darker outside. And so far, Indiana State Police Sergeant Todd Ringel says it is smooth sailing for all of the roads in the Vandenberg district. Now, I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see right where we are right now. We are approaching Highway 41. We are on the Lloyd right now, passing by the Henderson US 41 South exit. And as you can see, it is pretty much smooth sailing out here. Some important things to note, though. Kentucky 33522 Ellis Park, Kentucky exit is still closed due to flooding. Drivers will need to select an alternative route to get back to the south side of the river. KYTC also says it is planning to close southbound turning lanes coming out of Ellis Park at 2 p.m., so in about 4 minutes. Henderson County EMA has been keeping an eye on the traffic from its command post in Henderson in the Denny's parking lot along 41, and they say traffic will start to pick up just after totality hits.
Keep their patience, just take your time. You're going to get through it, and you're going to be fine. Just don't get overly excited, and just enjoy the drive. It's going to be fine.
Anything else? The Flying J on Highway 41 near Gibson and Vandenberg County line having no gas. We did call them and determined that is actually not true. And as a reminder, be sure to slow down, do not wear your Eclipse glasses when you're driving, and be sure to have a full tank of gas before going to your next destination. Reporting on Highway 41 in Vandenberg County, Ann Powell, Eyewitness News.
The main thing is people just stay safe, be careful out there on the highways, especially afterward. We're expecting a little more traffic to pick up then. But right now, folks are set right here along the riverfront, ready to see the big show happening in the sky. Look, just a sliver left.
Yeah, we're under 4 minutes, or four and a half minutes roughly until totality begins.
Quickly, let's go back to Brad in the studio. Brad?
All right, thank you very much, Brandon, Shelley, and Wayne. To put this in perspective, we must remember that, so many people right now probably are not watching television. They've got, whether they're in their front yards downtown over at USI or they've just pulled over into a parking lot, their eyes are up in the sky. And this is an event for most of us, well, for all of us, as far as a total eclipse over Evansville. That will not happen in our lifetime, so that's why this is such a major deal, and we're very, very close to totality now. We also put it in perspective from the fact that in ancient times, now just imagine without the technology, without the knowledge of what they were seeing, how people reacted to what we are about to see. There were many myths about the eclipse. In ancient times, some civilizations said it was the end of the world. Some believe the moon was actually devouring the sun, and you see it now, just a sliver of the sun that you'll be able to see here. And once that covers in, we're just about 3 minutes away. It is going to be quite a sight, and also the sounds. Now, I know if you're in a crowded area, a lot of people will be cheering probably, but if you're just, say like if you're at home in your backyard or front yard, listen to what's going on, because it's really a sight and sound show that we're seeing here. And the exit of the moon from the sun's path, that will last up until, if I'm not mistaken, for yet another hour or so. But as you can see, it is just barely now touching the edge of the sun. And imagine the power of the sun, why it is so important to the way we live. It keeps us alive, it sustains us, but a little moon, not that far away, relatively speaking, from Earth, is covering the entire impact of the sun. I can barely see it right now. I'm sure if you're watching, if you're looking up with those protective glasses, it is near darkness, and control room, when we reach totality, it looks like it could be, I've got my clock set at 1:59, so we're about 2.5 minutes away right now. And 31 million people in the country, that swath that is taking a northeast pattern all the way from Texas up to, I believe, Maine, a very, very long track, are able, if they can. Okay, I want to go ahead and toss back, and they'll come back as soon as we go into totality. Back to Brandon, Shelley, and Wayne.
We are back, and we are under 2 minutes. You can see the clock counting down there. This is just about totality here. You need your glasses until we hit totality, and then you can take them off for 3 minutes and put it back on again.
And we were just watching the street lights along Riverside Drive in Maine here have just come on. And the walkway lights around Old National Bank just came on, too.
Yeah, it is. You can really start to tell a difference. It feels a little bit cooler. It's getting a little quieter. The music turned off so that we can really experience the natural setting and what's going to happen. We won't hear the loud, fun music that we've been listening to. So it's really getting to the moment, Wayne. And the classes are so important,
That's right, because you're kind of tempted now. You can almost look at it, and it doesn't seem to hurt your eyes. But this is the dangerous part, where these rays can still damage your eyesight. So use the glasses. You can see the countdown. And we are now very close to totality. We are under 30 seconds.
So will you be able to see the, listen to folks, they're reacting already. Will you be able to see the beads that we're talking about here on this one?
We might be able to.
Okay, and those beads are like when the valley of the moon,
yes,
the
that's the terrain
rays.
of the moon, allowing the last of that light to come on through in little bursts.
And we may or may not see it depending on where it is
depends,
in the moon, right?
Each eclipse is different.
But we might see that diamond ring thing we're talking about too, right?
Exactly.
And that's the moment right before totality.
Right before totality.
Where you just have one bright, shining light. Now, granted, I guess every eclipse is different. You may or may not see it.
And then you'll have a diamond on the other end
when it comes off.
Ends.
Okay. So we may see it even, if not before totality, maybe right after totality. And on the screen, it looks like totality is happening right now. But actually, looking
we're not
in
quite
person,
there. But here comes.
Not quite there.
If we're going to see the beads, it would be about right now.
Okay, we're going to be quiet. Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. I see a star. That must be Jupiter.
Venus.
I'm sorry.
Venus is out.
There it goes.
Wow. There it is. And there's the diamond.
Oh, it's gone.
You can see the diamond without your glasses.
So you can take off your
You can take your
glasses?
glasses off now.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
That is amazing.
All right, I'm going to bring Ron Rhodes and Gretchen and Joe, if he's around. Come on in here. This is so awesome, you guys.
Incredible.
You guys have been here all morning. Now you're seeing it.
Wow.
It was worth the wait.
It was definitely worth the wait. This is absolutely phenomenal.
You're seeing
the stars are coming.
Yeah,
I know.
The planets and the corona is so beautiful.
And if you look
Around.
at the
Solar flare at the bottom there? What is that?
yeah, is that a solar? Oh, that's a corona. The gas is coming off the sun, right? Oh my goodness.
That is fantastic. It's like it's gotten night. The street lights have come on.
It feels like about 9 o'clock is what it looks like out here about
The
right now.
horizon. The horizon. Yeah, you should be. That's right, to get up early tomorrow morning and talk about
It's almost at bedtime right now. So like, this is. It was a little darker than this, but not much when we first came in. So it's like, yeah, this is incredible.
But it's a different kind of light, though, too, isn't it?
It's an eerie kind of, almost a yellowish kind of a light that we have out here. So that's what makes it even more, wild. I've never experienced this before.
Same. It is really something to see. And the crowd is kind of simmering down now after the first excitement. Now they're just really taking it in. They seem to be getting into it.
I think most people have never experienced this before in their life.
Oh, absolutely not. And many of us
probably
may never
never
get
will.
to again. There's a few birds flying over, like dusk, like it's dusk.
Exactly. And if we were out in the country, we would probably hear the crickets chirping right now, too. So.
Yeah. Right now, we're just hearing people react. Yeah. So, Wayne, how far? The very bottom, that solar corona thing is the most phenomenal part of that, where you can actually see it almost like a little tail.
Because we can never see that with the naked eye, but obviously we can see it now, and we only have probably another minute here. I don't have my watch on me, but it'll be pretty apparent when the totality is over with.
Yeah, we're safe without glasses now, but it's going to be unsafe here.
And we want to bring Brad Bird in. He's in the studio. We're going to keep showing you the total solar eclipse, but Brad, this is something to see, I tell you what.
Yes, Shelley and Brandon and Ron and Wayne, it is definitely, it's a different sight than Wayne and I saw back in Madisonville a few years ago. But what you are looking at here, let's soak this in. I don't know if we can bring audio up. I'm also, if there's a possibility we can bring one of the downtown sky cams up, tower cams, or any tower cam. I want to see basically the atmosphere of the darkness in that area, if we can just bring one of those up. But it's like nighttime. Well, that's the downtown cam right there. And as you can see, it's dark. And this is the case that's going to last just about maybe another minute, half minute. If we can get back on the actual eclipse, there you go. And you're going to see that slowly move out from that trajectory there. But keep in mind, there we go. There we go. There is what a sight that is. And soak this in, because this is the last time we're going to be able to see this, folks, for a long time. And for those of your loved ones and friends outside, wow, that is amazing. Who needs special effects in a movie when you have something like this? Wow. Power of the sun now beginning to take hold, and the moon slowly, and we want to emphasize that, the moon will not be moving out quickly, but it will hang on as long as it can, and that is really something to see. They've called it many things over the years, but when we were talking about the way we were able to see it, if you were around that long back in the early part of the century, the last century, from a scientific point of view, it was so difficult to really gather that in. Now, as you can see, the daylight is slowly starting to come back on, but it looks like dusk almost. And I'm not sure, I'm looking at that one shot of the downtown riverfront. As you can see, the light is slowly coming back. Pretty soon they need to put their glasses back on, because they'll be staring at enough sun. And there you can see I'll call it the new sun, because it looks like a new moon, but from the bottom up. And we have been so lucky in the tri-state today. There were some types of clouds in this forecast leading up to this event, but my goodness, it's like Mother Nature just pulled the drapes open, the curtains open, and let us get a good look of a phenomenon of our universe, and that's a total eclipse of our sun with our moon. Incredible. And now you can see now it will take a while for this phase of this astronomical show, so to speak, to be completed with the moon completely moving out of the path, blocking the sun. And it took, let's see, I believe it was around 12:45 when the eclipse began. And that in itself drew people out into their yards, downtown. I know the University of Southern Indiana has a pretty big crowd out there. They have a green space in that new quad area at USI. A lot of people stayed home, but they went out to their yards. Some people I know living in buildings tall enough may have tried to get up on the rooftops safely to witness this. But as you can see, we've been talking about this for months. I'm still amazed they were able to pinpoint this. Scientists, but I'm not a scientist, of course, just nailed it right on the nail as far as the minute that this would be happening so far in advance. And they're already looking at, what, about 125 years from now. If you believe in reincarnation, you may be able to see this again in some form. But it is amazing, and as you can see, some of the sunlight coming out, that almost looks like early morning. And this is along the riverfront. Behind those folks is the green space of the old National Bank building along the riverfront. The riverfront, it's Riverside, of course, is closed, Riverside Drive, but it is quite a sight. And I trust they're starting to put their glasses back on. They need to. And as Gary Barr, the ambassador to NASA, told us earlier, I'm sure there were folks taking pictures of this with their cell phones. He said you might be able to get a decent shot, but it's nothing like the cameras in your eyes with protection, witnessing what we just saw here, and with the cameras that we had. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and toss back to Brandon, Shelley, and I believe Wayne is still there. But you guys can, you've heard the crowd. I heard the crowd. I guess I got one question. Are there any crickets in downtown Evansville?
That was awesome. Yeah, that was the most, you and I were just talking a second ago.
It was more amazing than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Too short, though.
Yeah, it's almost an emotional experience. It kind of takes your breath away. It's like,
it totally did, and the crowd just now clapped because the audio system is coming back on again, and they're talking about it. But right after everyone started clapping, and there was a lot of, it was so amazing. And I heard someone say, "This is crazy," because it really felt so. Something you've never felt before.
Out of this world.
Yeah, out of this world. That's a great way to put it, for sure.
And not only, of course, it got dark, but to see it in totality with the corona around it. I mean, scientists study the corona, but they have to actually physically block the sun to study the atmosphere of the sun, and we get to see it naturally with the moon doing the job.
And you know they were probably doing a ton of experiments in other parts of the country right now, the NASA.
Well, the sun is in a certain phase now. It was in a different phase in 2017, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
It's an active solar cycle here, and there was a little orange dot we noticed near the bottom. And I was talking with Ron about this, and it may have been a solar storm that was causing that. Not quite sure, but scientists will let us know.
It was like a little tail.
Yeah,
so
a little orange diamond, if you will. They stayed there the whole time.
Yeah.
And that was what was kind of interesting.
The corona, was it as it was in 2017? Was it?
Well, it actually looked a little more vibrant, to be honest with you, because, I mean, it was kind of really flaring, and that probably is because we're in an active cycle here where the storms are doing more on the surface of the sun than they were in 2017. So the corona was more brilliant this time.
It was just phenomenal. It was amazing, and the crowd was quiet. I mean, people reacted, and then it was really quiet for a while, too, while everybody was really just soaking it in. It was really interesting to see how the crowd received this whole experience here. And now now folks are starting to trickle out, but it's not like a mad rush or anything. Folks are still down here enjoying the food trucks. There's plenty of food trucks down here. And of course, the partial is continuing in the sky.
It's happening in reverse now.
Right.
Yeah, that goes to 320, and now you need your glasses on again. Yeah. But this is also very neat to see a partial eclipse like this is very rare also, which we'll probably get to see maybe in Evansville again at some point. But again, our next total eclipse here in Evansville, 129 years. The next one that's even close to us, though, is 2045. You could travel down to Arkansas and see a total solar eclipse in, let me see, that'd be 21 years.
What was interesting to me today, too, is after we had that totality, and it was so short-lived, and it came out, it quickly got bright so fast. Just a little sliver of sunshine just brightened everything.
And that's why I told everybody there's a huge difference between that 99% and 100%. Yeah. And that's why it was worth the effort to get into the path of totality on this one.
So let's say, like Owensboro, I think was in 99%. Did it not get completely dark there?
Oh, no. So, I mean, it was like Evansville in 2017. I mean, it was kind of neat to look at. I mean, Evansville in 2017 is kind of like what we're seeing now.
Right.
It's neat, but not nearly as dramatic as the totality that we experienced. And so hopefully those that were able to got into that path. And thank goodness the weather cooperated, because, we said going into this 50-50 that this time of the year, we're going to have clear skies, and thank goodness we did.
I think, Wayne, you're living right. Evansville's living right.
We did something right. Chamber of Commerce weather to be sure.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sure they're elated with how well everything happened. And it is really smooth. Everything seems to be going really smoothly down here. We haven't had any major incidents that we know of, and there's a lot of folks down here, and police presence as well.
Yeah, and it's going to start warming up again now. The sun's back. The street lights are all... They've gone back off now.
Yeah, we were sweating a little bit earlier, and then they got comfortable, and now we're going to start sweating again.
How cool? How much of a cool down do you think we had?
We'll have to check. We could have been 5 to 10 degrees, honestly, because we had that full sun. So we'll figure that out and have that on the news coming up tonight. But there you can kind of see we're moving the other direction there out of the totality, and that's going to go until about 3:20 this afternoon. So still something neat to experience here for the next hour. If you haven't had a chance to already see this on the front end, which started at 12:45.
That second diamond we saw seemed a lot brighter. I think that is because our eyes were adjusted. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. All of a sudden, bam! There it was, and that was our cue to put our glasses back on. But yeah, for me, it was a twice in a lifetime event. Not so sure I'll see one again. But Shelley, this was your first, right? And Brandon, your first.
Yeah, it was, as you said, it was just phenomenal. It kind of gave you chills, and it was just out of this world.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was taking a picture at first. Everybody said, focus on it yourself. Look with your own eyes and don't use your phone. They're right. Because when I took my phone down, it was just amazing to see it in person. Pictures don't do it justice.
What was so cool, too, is about the horizon got such an interesting color to it. It almost looked like a airbrushed video or photo or something. It didn't even look like real colors in the horizon.
Because, at dusk, when we get the last of the light, it's coming just from one direction. So you get that fading sky. This time, it faded from above. And so it's a whole different look, even though it's the same amount of light you might get at 9 o'clock in the evening. The whole transition's so totally different than a normal sunset.
Yeah, folks in Grayville, Illinois also got to experience totality. Our Hannah Hurley is there right now. Let's check in with her. Hannah?
All right, hello from Grayville, Illinois. We've got our friends here, Paul, Riley, and Cora. We've just come out of totality. It was pretty amazing. What did you guys think?
I really loved it. I've never been in an eclipse besides when I was 4, and that was a long time ago. I couldn't really remember that, so
yeah,
I loved it.
But you'll remember this one now for the rest of your life, right?
As I can.
As long as you can, right. So you guys are from Tennessee, right? So tell me about the drive up here. You guys came today, didn't you?
Yes, we came today. It wasn't too bad of traffic. It was just a lot of police presence on the way up.
Are you guys heading back tonight?
We will be heading back tonight.
Okay. Are you going to do anything else while you're here in Grayville, or did you just come for the eclipse?
Came for the eclipse, so we saw that mini golf over there, so we'll probably go take up a game of mini golf.
Yeah, lots of things to do here over at the KOA campground. People have been out all morning waiting for the big event, and now it's finally happened. There is going to be another one in 2045. I'm not sure where you guys will have to travel for it exactly, but I know there's going to be another one. Are you guys going to maybe try to go to that one as well?
Yeah, probably.
Because you'll get to that one whenever you're older, so you remember that one even more. What about you, sweetie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you're going to go to the next one? What do you think of this one today?
I liked it, and I've never saw an eclipse before.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, right? All right, well, you guys have safe travels back to Tennessee, and we're glad that you guys made it over to Illinois. It's awesome, yeah. And again, once-in-a-lifetime experience here at the KOA campground in Graybill. We all were laying right over here on the grass behind us, just taking it all in. It was really an amazing experience. So we'll toss it back to you.
Okay, we are back here at the riverfront, witnessing a phenomenal experience, once-in-a-lifetime experience of the total solar eclipse in 2024. And I think we're all just kind of like, did we just really experience that? You know, I mean, you're kind of, you don't know quite how to react. It's so amazing.
And we've been building up to this for so long, and now it happens. It's like,
I know, we can all take a sigh of relief now that it was so, I mean, it really was. You could not have asked for better weather.
You could not have.
The crowd down here on Evansville's riverfront has been phenomenal, respectful. They've loved every minute of it. And let's take a picture. There it goes.
Traffic on the Twin Bridge is looking pretty good, Wayne.
Yeah, we're going to look, obviously, at the southbound bridge, because that's where the majority of people would more than likely be heading. And we're coming up from the south to see totality. But right now, looks okay. But we'll see how things play out here in the next few hours. I know after the 2017 total eclipse in Kentucky, what was then, I think, the Pennyroyal Parkway, I-69 now, was really congested. We took the back roads getting back, and even that was slow going. So my guess here in the next few hours, we're going to see a lot of congestion here, and particularly the southbound and even I-64. Probably eastbound also might get a little congested here.
Lloyd Expressway might get a little bit busy here, but we've noticed a huge difference in the last 10 minutes. Folks have kind of gathered up their belongings here on the riverfront, and they're starting. There's some folks that are just enjoying the day down here, but there are a sizable amount of folks that have started to make their way back to their cars and go home, but it's not like a mad rush.
Not at all. And law enforcement have asked people to actually kind of hang out where they are after the eclipse happens, just kind of stay there to kind of ease congestion on the roads as well.
And again, there's plenty to do down here. We've got lots of food trucks, and I mean, you can easily make an afternoon of it on a day like today.
Yeah, and I think they'll be here to 4 o'clock, I believe, the food trucks. There's a lot of events downtown and through the community. But we're talking about the weather. Obviously, we want clear skies, but not only did we get clear skies, we got 70s.
I know.
That's warmer than normal. This is like perfect outdoor weather. So imagine if it was clear and cold, we'd all be bundled up and rushing in, or a little too hot or humid.
True.
I was going to ask you, know what it looks like for other parts of the path of totality? Do other cities have clouds?
Actually, we're in a very good zone here because southwest of us was not so good. Texas into Arkansas. And then our weather was good. Northeast, not so much until you get into northern New England. Northern Maine was a hot spot, and they're going to be getting totality here soon. I think we got a time lapse now of the eclipse from our tower camera here. We kind of positioned it, and we were recording it throughout the event. So let's play that back. I haven't seen it myself yet, but we'll see it, and you're going to see a lot of distortion there. And that was at that's at 2:08. So we should be able to hopefully time lapse that. I think Stacy's back there in the weather center. So yeah, so I think we're starting from 9:20 this evening, or we should be seeing.
Maybe we don't have it. I'm not quite sure.
It was set up, so I think at some point we will, but we just got to get the computer operating properly. But yeah, we've got what's left of this partial eclipse going until 3:20. So, like I said, since it's such a nice afternoon, a lot of folks are just making it a nice day on the river.
Absolutely.
A lot of folks took off from work today. School's out, so now's the time to. Not that we weren't having fun beforehand, but you were really focused on being in the right spot, preparing for this, and now it's like, let's enjoy the rest of the day.
I think everybody is like kind of coming down off of a high of seeing that beautiful thing in the sky that we just witnessed.
Just processing what they saw.
I think so too. Everybody's just real chill and enjoying themselves, and I don't see many people watching the reverse partial eclipse going on right now. It's kind of like, okay, we saw it, we're done.
Yeah, there's people over here looking at their pictures on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and taking pictures.
It's just been a lovely day.
To always remember.
It is a day to always remember. I will never forget it myself, and you know, I've never seen anything like it, never probably will.
And another thing about, we get back to the weather, of course, yesterday we had the scattered storms, even severe weather, so skies yesterday weren't that great. Today they were great, and then the rest of the week, next 3 days, rain. not even a hint of sun. So, I mean, we
this is perfect.
so fortunate that we squeezed that little one-day window in just when we needed it here. I'm so relieved that because if this had been a bust weather-wise, I mean, it still would have been neat to look at.
But
would still
not
go dark.
near the same experience.
Yeah, you don't go from bright sun to darkness.
Right.
This is really
just that, like you said, like that 1 degree, that 1% makes such a huge difference, and if the clear skies makes such a huge difference. I want to give a big shout out right now to the city of Evansville, to our policemen and our firefighters and first responders, the EMA, all those folks have been down here along the riverfront, making sure that everything is smooth, and it seems to have gone incredibly smoothly. Not only everybody coming down here and spending the day here under this beautiful weather, but also as they're dispersing now, going to their cars. And traffic has not been bad. Parking wasn't terrible. I know some folks had to walk a ways, but not bad at all.
Like, I think it was less than the fireworks.
I think it seems like it's a little less than fireworks.
Yeah, I'm down here. I live about 3 blocks away. So fireworks night is pretty crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. And this is not nearly that bad.
Right. Yeah, this was not bad at all. Very manageable, family-friendly here. So, it was really a great location.
And I've seen a lot of pets down here. There's a dog just sort of walk behind us
and
here.
They seemed fine.
Yeah, they didn't freak out.
Right.
They did just fine.
That's a good thing. Now we have that time lapse that we promised you. So let's take a look at that and see how things looked from the vantage point of our tower camera here, which is on top of Fifth Third Bank. We had it trained up to the sky, and that was during the eclipse. Well, that's live again. Okay, so
hopefully we're getting there.
Now that was actually that may have been our tower camera. I don't know. I was hoping we had the.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so we did get to see it at least come out of totality there. So a neat experience, and there'll be all kinds of great photographs. Once the professionals who've been taking pictures of this get back and process all their work, there'll be some really neat photographs and video to enjoy.
This morning I was walking my dogs very early, and I actually saw some folks that were walking down the street with backpacks, and they had the big telescopic lens on their camera, and I knew what they were getting ready to stake out their spot to take pictures. And I'm sure that person's pictures are phenomenal, but a lot of folks were just doing it with their cell phones. They put their glasses in front and snapped so you didn't hurt it. So I'm sure a lot of folks do have some really good. If you have pictures, share them with us for sure. Send them to the weather.
Absolutely. You use our weather app, our news app, and there's a photo share down there that you can send it directly to us, and then we'd love to show them on the air. And I'm sure, well, you can see right now, we're still in partiality here. So we still have an interesting show here for the next roughly 45 minutes until we go out of the eclipse for good.
Yeah, and we were so excited about this, an hour ago. And after seeing totality, it's like, okay, it's just partial. It's just partial. No big deal. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so we're going to go to Dallas now, and the eclipse is over in Dallas, but we'll see what kind of crowd has lingered in Dallas. Obviously a bigger city, but they had I think they had something at the Cotton Bowl today, some big parties there.
Oh, so the eclipse is much further along, or the partial is much further along there in Dallas.
Oh, so that's what we're actually looking at, what the sun is like.
I believe so.
Dallas.
That's my
right, yeah, because they had totality before us.
Right.
Because this shadow has moved from southwest to northeast across the country.
So about 10-15 minutes ahead of us, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So now the totality would be up towards Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo, and then moving up into northern New England, and eventually the Canadian Maritimes before it's over with.
So it looks like they had decent weather, not too many clouds in the sky there in Dallas. But you see a few moving by there, so we were very lucky.
We were very lucky.
Yeah, they have severe weather threat down in Texas today, so it looks like they might have gotten the eclipse in before the severe storms hit. But they're at a slight risk down in North Texas today with the weather, but no concerns here, so we can enjoy the rest of this day. And the rain's probably not going to hit until very late tonight, so even a really nice warm evening on the way to cap off this beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day.
Yeah, and it's already starting to warm back up. I can feel that the sun's coming back out now.
It's funny how quickly that happens, isn't it? It just that, and the brightness after that total eclipse, just a tiny sliver of sun just brightened everything and started warming things up immediately.
And great to meet so many people from out of town and around the world. A great opportunity to show off our city, our community, and I think the city, like you said, did a great job.
Absolutely.
And I think everybody really enjoyed their visit here, and hopefully they'll come back and put Evansville on their map again for a vacation or a trip.
And hopefully you enjoyed the experience as well. I hope you were able to get outside with your glasses and experience some of it. But if you were at home watching, we so much appreciate you taking the time today to see the 2024 total solar eclipse.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We're now going to join ABC News and Progress with their special on the total eclipse.
Happy Eclipse Day.